Today we're going to be talking about how to operate the ON12H-2 Feeder and also how to operate the WR-1 option. Before turning on your ON12 feeder, you want to make sure there's nothing obstructing the light curtain in your lift located on the entrance. And then you're going to turn on the ON12H-2 feeder on the control circuit on the on position, and the windows will reboot or boot in a couple seconds, and just wait until the full screen is fully on. After it turns fully on, you're going to follow the sequence that will let you know the state of the machine. As you can see, it says power is off and it's waiting to start machine. So you look for the start machine button that's located just underneath the control circuit and press that button. And then after, you'll continue to follow the instructions on the top screen, and the next step is to reset the light curtain. So you're going to walk to your control box that's located on the entrance of the lift and reset the light curtain. After locating the reset light curtain button, you're going to press the button for 1.5 seconds, let go. After resetting the light curtain, you're going to continue to follow the instructions on the screen, and the next step is waiting for OK to home. So you're going to locate the home button and press it, and that should home your ON12 and be ready to continue to work. After homing the machine, the ON12 will go into an idle mode, and that indicates the machine is ready for a job. So as you can look at the screen, you have several buttons on your main screen that are your options to turn on or off your WR-1. And then also there's a button to select the right door thickness running on the ON12 from a 35mm to a 40mm. And that works with the WR-1. So you need to make sure that you select the right door thickness when running the WR-1 as well. Next, you'll look on the left-hand side, you have a pause machine, cancel operation, and a wide door mode. Typically, the cancel operation will be the button you might be using the most, but typically when you're running in the middle of a sequence and you need to cancel or stop the door from continuing to run through the system, you would cancel the operation and it will go and drop the door back to your stack and then go in idle mode. Next, you look at your buttons on your right hand side. You have your main, that's your main screen, the manual screen button that allows you to run the table and the gantry manually if needed by selecting the manual mode button first, and that will override and go into manual mode. And if you look on the top side on the screen, it'll tell you that's in the manual mode now, and then you can either feed forward, feed reverse, cross feed forward, or cross feed reverse. And to go into automatic, you deselect the manual mode and it automatically will go back to idle state. Gantry, it's the same thing. You select the manual mode button, now you're in manual mode, and you'll read that on the top screen, and then you can unclamp, clamp, gantry up, gantry down, gantry to stack, and gantry to table, and manually rotate the gantry. After finishing in the manual mode, deselect the manual mode button and it goes back to idle state. That's it. Next, we have calibration menu. Here, this menu allows you to calibrate your machine if necessary, but typically this should be all done in the shop. so you necessarily don't need to, but required, you can go into calibration mode for the door stack calibration and table calibration. Once done, you can head back to the main menu. For troubleshooting purposes, you have the diagnostic button, will allow you to give you information of the machine state and any other issues that arise, and it'll keep a log for troubleshooting for customer service. And as well, there is an IO status button that you select, and it'll allow you to see which eyes or what eyes are being read, or either or on or off as well too. And those are for troubleshooting purposes and for Kval techs. Next, we have the reset button. Typically, like anything else, like a computer, if your screen or the system seems to be acting up, you can do a hard reset. You just select the reset button, it'll ask you to confirm, and you will select yes, and it will reset the system, and then you need to reboot again from the very beginning like you initially did when you first turned on the machine. To start your machine, you're going to select the quantity box, and a screen will pop up where you're going to input the amount of doors you want to run off your pallet. For example, I'll input 1 check mark, and now the machine is ready to run. And to start the machine, you're going to push the start sequence button, and then the machine automatically will start the sequence. If for some reason in the middle of the sequence you're in the middle picking up a door and you need to stop the machine without hitting the e-stop, you hit the pause button, and that will just freeze the machine in whatever state it's in, and it will sit there until you deselect the button again, and it will resume to continue to run the doors. Lastly, you have your emergency stop button. That one, if for some sort of reason you have an emergency, you want to push that button in, and then that will be hold in place with the red light lit saying that there's the e-stop activated. After selecting your e-stop and fixing the emergency, you're going to deselect the emergency stop by twisting clockwise, and the button should pop out and the light turn off, and then you go to your screen, you'll close the alert pop-up, and then you continue to follow the steps on the screen on the top side. When first turning on the machine, as you recall, you had to reset your light curtain from the button box located in the front of your lift. As you can see, there's the reset light curtain button, but you also do have request access button, a pause and resume cycle button, and an emergency e-stop button. When you're ready to load doors into your machine, you first need to request access to be able to walk in and make sure the machine's in a safe mode or a safe state for you to be able to walk inside. So to do so, you need to request access, and you're going to push the button in, and you'll see it flash a couple times until it's a solid light, and that's an indicator that you're able to walk into the machine safely. After loading doors and you're ready to walk out, you're going to go ahead and pull the button out, and then it automatically will reset itself and go into idle mode and be ready for you to input the amount of doors you want to run. Lastly, one thing to keep in mind is when you request access, in the end you do walk inside the machine, you're going to break the light curtain, meaning that when we pull this button out, if you look at your screen, it will say to reset the light curtain, and that's because you did walk inside and you broke the light curtain, and then it should resume and be in idle mode again. Once your machine's in idle mode and ready to run a job, you're going to go ahead and select the quantity box and input a quantity number of doors you're going to run. So we're going to input 1 door, and then we're going to select the WR-1 option, and we're going to turn that on, and then we're going to confirm that the door thickness, it is a 35 millimeter door. Once having everything selected, the next thing you're going to do is start sequence and select or hit the button. So at the end of the day, when you're ready to turn off your machine, you're going to go ahead and on the control circuit, you're just going to turn your toggle switch into the off position, and that'll be sufficient to turn off your machine.